Chapter 1 A Stranger. It was 6 years ago. At the time, I was living in the eastern city, Tokyo. That year, there was an unusually heavy snowfall, thought to be the heaviest in decades. I was standing by the window of my third-floor apartment, resting my forehead against the glass, gazing endlessly at the snow-filled sky as evening approached. At that moment, in the third-floor window of the Western-style house across from me, I noticed a woman also looking out at the snow-covered rooftops. It seemed she had noticed me long before, because when I looked at her, she was already waving at me. The Western-style house and my apartment were about 100 yards apart, and since it was getting dark, I couldn't clearly see her face. Though I still felt a little awkward, I opened the window and reached out my hand to wave at her. And then, as if something had suddenly come up, she waved back once more and disappeared from the window. I wasn't sure why, but I suddenly felt an emptiness in my chest, so I pulled down the curtain. I noticed the light in the hallway turn on, and I could hear careful footsteps. As the footsteps approached, they stopped for a moment, as if someone was hesitating. It must be someone from the neighboring room, I thought. And I sat down at the table, opening my manuscript paper. A moment later, the footsteps stopped right in front of my door, followed by a gentle knock. Without much thought, I answered, "Come in." Then a beautiful soprano voice responded, "May I come in?" I hesitated for a moment in response to the visitor's hesitant attitude, then got up and opened the door. As soon as I opened the door, I was startled, almost in shock. Standing, there was a Western woman with bright golden hair, someone I had never even imagined meeting. "Please come in," I said, inviting her into the room. And then I was surprised once again, because she spoke Japanese so fluently that she was no different from a native speaker. "I moved here about a week ago. Every morning I saw you open your window. I waved at you each time, but you pretended not to notice." A woman looking out from the Western-style house window turned out to be her. "Oh, is that so? I only noticed you for the first time today." We exchanged a few more words, and before I knew it, we were chatting like old friends. "Let's take a walk in the snow." I suggested taking a walk, and he headed toward the nearby Hibiya Park. As we reached the entrance, We both stopped.
It's scary.
She suddenly moved closer to me, glancing nervously into the empty park. As we had walked through the falling snow, I had been deeply lost in my emotions. Without thinking, I wrapped my arm around her shoulder. Then, as if tears were about to well up in my eyes, for no reason, I tried hard to hold them back. Struggling to control my emotions, I decided to share the sorrowful story of Solhi that had stayed in my heart. Chapter 2. The Snowy Night. Solhi, she was a year older than me, yet she was much smaller in stature. Maybe because of that, she always called me Oni instead of using my name, even though I was a man. Her beloved had been executed in some incident, and she lived a sorrowful life with a widowed mother. I was her only friend. She always wore a black lubashka and would lean against me, saying she wanted to become Chun-hee, the tragic heroine from a novel she loved with all her heart and deeply related to.
Annie, I love Chun-hee. I want to be like her.
Then one day she said,
No, I want to be Solhi, not Chun-hee. When thick snow falls silently on the ground, I too will leave this world just as quietly.
After that, she started calling herself Solhi. The Sol in Solhi means snow. She saw herself in the character and suffered quietly, just like the character did. And 2 years ago, on a snowy night, Solhi truly disappeared without a sound into a faraway, dark place. As soon as my story ended, this foreign woman immediately opened her coat, showing me her black blouse buttoned all the way up to the neck, and called out emotionally,
Annie!
I exclaimed, "Oh!" in surprise. Her blouse style closely resembled the rubashka that Solhi used to wear, causing confusion in my mind, making me feel dizzy, as if I were seeing Solhi's spirit appear before me. Cold sweat ran down my spine.
Just as I thought, my intuition was right. I felt like you'd become my only friend. Tonight, as the white snow falls, I met you, someone with the surname Baek. I heard Sully's story. I discovered Sully and I share the same fate. How strange. I don't know if I'm older than you, but I'll call you Oni. Please call me Sully. I truly want to change my name to Sully,
she said, leaning her forehead against my shoulder, as if overcome with deep sorrow. I stood frozen, chills running through my body. I couldn't stop thinking that this woman was exactly like Solhi. I shook off the fog in my mind and tried to regain my composure, but she kept coming closer, as if she were deeply excited about something, and suddenly called out,
Miss Pyle, Oni, what if the snow keeps falling like this and buries us completely?
Her big eyes sparkled with excitement, and she was so thrilled. She accidentally called me Miss Pyle. We laughed together, noticing the snow piling up on our clothes. Under the street lights, the snowflakes danced around us, as if trying to cover us completely. As we started working again, my heart filled with a strange, nostalgic feeling, like I was traveling in another country. The gentle excitement warmed my heart as we continued working into the snowy night.